I spent 300 euros on Sanderson's secret books expecting 4 exclusive standalones with high potential of being 5-star reads, but was this year of Sanderson worth the $41 million raised? Well, for the exclusivity factor, not so much. Here in Spain, secret projects have been translated and released with almost the same edition as soon as 1 month after the Kickstarter release date. And for the brilliant reads, The Sunlit Man is the 4th and last book, so everything it's coming down to this one to break the tie, because so far I've rated these books with 3.6 stars, rating Dress of the Emerald Sea with 4, Wizard with 2, Yumi with 5, and I really need to know, you really need to know what will happen with Sunlit Man, the book that's supposed to be the most Cosmere aware of them all. And so in order to do that, to let you know if all of this was worth it, I cleared my schedule. The book released at 8 and at 7 a.m. I was already ready with my coffee waiting. I read the whole day non-stop just to be here rating this book for you. So what are my thoughts? Let's see. Let's start with the world and the voice. Sanderson, for this novel, he wanted to give us readers something. He started this whole year of Sanderson wanting basically to test out different voices and also to gift books to his wife. The first book, Dress of the Emerald Sea, was created based on a prompt that Emily, his wife, gifted to him. Then Wizard was a book that he wanted for him. He wanted to test out if he could work out these different tropes that he loved around the sci-fi, the blank mind and all of that. And then Yumi was a book that he believed his wife would love, so he created that story for her. And then The Sunlit Man, it's a story that he created for us, and it is very Cosmere aware, and it is actually Stormlight adjacent. What you will get here, it's basically a tone that you will be familiar with from Stormlight, but that it's very different to what we're used to. And this is something that I particularly struggled a little bit, because there are some sayings such as damnation or storms, and there are mentions of some of our favorite characters from Stormlight that just was goosebumps every time those sentences were in the pages. But at the same time, you will have a very modern tone, which makes sense because this in the Cosmere timeline, it's way ahead. But in a way, it really broke my experience. It's not the Stormlight world that I'm imagining. And yes, this is not happening in Roshar, it's another world, but the main character that we will be following, he is one of the characters that we see in Stormlight. I won't say who, just for the sake of spoilers, although if you want to know that, I will probably have that information linked in the description under a spoiler tag. And there are lots of mentions around the different worlds within the Cosmere. Probably from all the secret projects, this is the one that you cannot really read if you have not read Stormlight. Not because you won't understand what happens, but because the emotional punch that it has, it's basically those Easter eggs, and because you get to know those characters that are mentioned or the different things that happened. If not, well, yeah, you will have a story that has a very action-packed plot, but it won't be as emotional. Even myself, who loves Stormlight, it's my favorite series of all time, I love it to pieces. This felt a little bit flat to me. So let's start with one of the things that I love the most, which is the world. It is so unique, so fascinating, and so classic Sanderson. And if there's something that I want to say is that yes, this book reads like him in the sense of we have that ending that has this peak, which I don't believe we really had over this last book. Maybe Yumi had a little bit of that Sunderland, but with this one you probably have that. But to me, that's basically what things stopped. But back to the world building, we have this world that it's basically really small, where they have a sun that it's super close, and it basically just burns everything. It is a source of investiture, and it is magical. Things are amazing because when the first rays of sunlight touches the earth, everything just flourishes. But no one can stand this heat, and everything gets devastated. You get vaporized race. So this has forced the society to be perpetually on the flee, and they are always running away from the sun. And as a result, they are nomads. They cannot stay in just one place. They need to move their cities, which is a very interesting topic to me, because how are you going to be able to create a culture, a society properly, if you always need to drop everything and run from your life every day? And this gets a little bit more dark because people need to sacrifice themselves to this heat in order to get these heartstones that are kind of like what propels this world. So they have these motorcycles that go really, really fast, and it is all kind of dark, and it is explained in a way in which you will see these sacrifices, and it is savage, but in a way it's told almost very plainly. You won't really spend lots of time realizing that whatever is happening, it's really, really dark. So the world is fascinating. Typical Sanderson, loved it. Then let's move to the characters. We will mainly follow this character that names himself Nomad. He has the ability to talk with his spren called Ox. And in here, for me, what really, really, really stole the show, it's this spren. It was so amazing. Every sentence that we got, it was hilarious. It was the perfect touch of being hilarious, being lighthearted, being cozy, being a little bit brave, and it just balanced the story very nicely because you had very deep, dark topics just blended in a very uplifting way. The proper character Nomad, I was not able to connect with him. And I am very sad about that because it's a character that we know from before and I kind of liked, but knowing more about this character for the major part of the book was not enough. I don't believe he is a very likable character. Of course, he passed through this arc that I ended up loving, but I feel this has been done already before and it wasn't amazing. I wasn't surprised, and there were some touches on how he talked that really, really broke the experience for me. We do have other secondary characters who are more lovable, and at least I loved how they were misfits, how they played the card of being low-key heroes, and I love when a band of misfits together just works. The plot in itself will move super fast. It definitely has a breakneck speed. It is very consuming. I read it in just one day. It is fascinating. We will start already with the sacrifices, and our character and the society will never stop, always running. And as the world changes, you will change as well. Very early on, we will get to know that our character Nomad, it's running from this night brigade that it's chasing him from planet to planet. He lands in this planet and he realizes that he is about to get sacrificed, and one thing leads to another, and he soon discovers that there's this Ember King that it's able to place these ember-like stones into people, and they basically make these people puppets. He can command them, and as you can expect, the resistance is emerging, and he will side with this side, trying to escape but also trying to do what is good. The plot in itself, it is really relevant and it felt deep and important, but while I was reading, I for the life of me was not able to connect. I knew things were important. Everyone was about to get burned, evaporated, but I was not able to just truly feel that. The ending though was phenomenal and 100% what it's making this book for me to be a 3.5 stars. But sadly, it's not a story that I will love, although I understand there's going to be lots of people that loves it. And the last thing that I want to mention is that the Cosmere references are mind-blowing. It is absolutely outstanding how every character in this world will talk about other worlds. Lots of references from Threnody. The people that live in this planet came from Threnody and they are very used to these lights and shadows. We will also have references to Nalthis, the planet of Warbreaker, and how the breaths expand, also to Scadrial, the world of Mistborn. So there is a lot packed in here. I have dozens and dozens of references, like, oh, one of my main characters has been named. Ah, how great. But then that was kind of it. So summing all of this up, I think to myself, was this worth it? And the answer is a yes, but it also has a lot of buts. I absolutely love the feeling of starting a new quarter and having a Sanderson book. It just really made my day, and it is something that it makes me sad to see that it's not going to be repeated. But I definitely spent too much money, and yes, these are amazing editions, but in a way I think I can almost have them in Spain, same. But yeah, I love the movement, I love the excitement, and 2 of the 4 stories were really good, my favorite being Yumi. Now let me know what you think about all of this, if this was worth it for you, if you're gonna read the Sunlit Man. Hope to see you soon.